tell you about Peru. The climate, tourism, and interesting facts. Did you know that the Incas were from Peru? First, some interesting facts about Peru. Peru is the third largest country in South America and is approximately the size of California. Peru is the fifth most populous country in Latin America, and according to the U.S. Department of State, the population of Peru in 2011 was 29.8 million. The current president is Ollanta Humala. Presidents serve a 5-year term, and the government type is a constitutional republican. The nationality is Peruvian, and the main religion is Roman Catholic. Spanish is the principal language. The U.S. investment in tourism in Peru has grown largely in recent years. The U.S. remains Peru's #1 trade partner, according to Peru and the U.S. Most citizens from the Americas and Western Europe do not need a visa to enter Peru. Now I will touch on some history of Peru. The Inca, sometimes called the people of the sun, were originally a warlike tribe living in the semi-arid region of the southern Sierra. From the years 1100 to 1300 AD, the Inca moved into the Cusco Valley of Peru. The vast empire was organized along socialistic lines and ruled by an Incan emperor, who by the Incas they worshipped as a divinity. A fun fact about the Incas was that they were not considered married unless they exchanged sandals. The Inca realm became a target of the Spanish imperials in the 16th century because they possessed extensive deposits of gold and silver. When the Spanish arrived in Peru in 1531, the territory was the center of the Incan civilization. At that time, the Incan Empire was the largest in the world. In search of Incan wealth, the Spanish conqueror Francisco Pizarro arrived in the area, and the Incas had just fought a debilitating civil war. He conquered them with no problem. The Spanish captured the Incan capital at Cusco by 1533 and had complete control by 1542. The actual body of the Spanish conquistador Francisco Pizarro that conquered Peru and died in the conquest is preserved in the main square in Lima, Peru. And this is a picture of his tomb. He lies in a glass casket so the public can view it. The gold and the silver of the Andes Mountains made the conquerors wealthy, and Peru became the main source of Spanish wealth and power in South America. In November of 1995, anthropologists announced the discovery of the 500-year-old remains of the 2 Incan women and 1 Incan man frozen in the snow on a mountain peak. Scientists discovered that the entire structure that they believed to be completed of blocks was actually completed of sticks and timber rather than stone. Artifacts from the find brought to new light also about their religious and sacrificial practices. This is a picture of the quipu. Since the Incas had no system of writing, they kept records by means of a quipu, a series of short knotted strings hung at different intervals and different colors to record populations, tribes, legends, and artifacts and achievements. Moving on to the tourism side of Peru, it is a paradise full of wonderful places for touring. You can find 28 climates, and the country and the ancient Inca citadel of Machu Picchu. It's the star attraction of the city of Cusco. The Nazca lines, which I have a picture of, are also a big attraction in Peru. People come from all over the world to visit and see these lines. Studying the lines has been a lifelong the Nazca culture was believed to be incapable of manned flight, but the lines are very vast and perfect shapes, some ranging from 4 miles wide on the ground and also on the sides of the Andes Mountains. They are most visible only if you are high above the ground, and the big question still remains as to how they crafted such drawings, the technology that they used, and the purpose of the lines. There are many theories regarding the mysterious etchings, ranging from landing strips for aliens to a giant seismograph. The most probable theory is of Maria Reich, a German researcher who's dedicated her life to studying the lines. According to Mrs. Reich, the lines were part of an astronomic calendar to mark different solar phases, but it's still unknown exactly how they placed them so perfectly. Last but not least, these are some interesting facts about Peru. Peru has the highest number of bird species. This is a picture of the national bird of Peru. There are 1,701 species of birds, most of any country, according to BirdLife International. The finest cottons in the world come from Peru also. Also the trees which produce the dyes for cotton. A weeping willow from Peru produces the base to make aspirin that many people use all over the world. The Peruvian maca root is what they used to make Viagra from all over the world. And it has been around for 100 years.
Hey.
According to food connoisseurs, the Peruvian cuisine is not the only the best cuisine in Latin America, but it is amongst the best in the world. Peru is the biggest producer of gold, zinc in Latin America. Also the biggest producer of potatoes, tomatoes, and lima beans. The avocado is also originally from Peru. Their corn has the biggest kernels in the world. In closing, I hope that you have learned some interesting facts about Peru, that you have learned some things that you may not have known, and that you may want to visit there someday. Thank you.
Yay!